right, keep
So, Mr. Rocha, can you tell me about the pandemic operation plan that Mr. Mix has to put together?
The one that he put together outlining, you know, City Hall and stuff like that at the beginning?
Yeah, so he has to come up with a list of essential workers. How are you guys going to come up with a list of essential and non-essential?
I think he's already done that some time ago.
And what about this emergency housing for essential employees? So non-essential employees, if they get sick, they're not going to get emergency housing?
Well, I mean, I think that the biggest difference in essential and non-essential right now is making sure that if they're sick, they get paid and they're taken care of. To the housing point, I can't speak to that. I don't know too much about that.
Did you see that the CDC released, they're saying that they made a mistake saying the virus was airborne. Did you see that?
Seen a lot of stuff from the CDC.
All right.
A lot of numbers, a lot of stats.
Real quickly on the art project on the Riverwalk.
Yes.
I would like to get a part of that.
Yeah.
How can I do that? How can I be a part of that?
So, first of all, I think that's an awesome idea. I'm glad that those folks are doing it. Mikkel Mariak, I think is Mikkel's last name, and Destiny, as well as the gentleman who was here last week. I would just give them a phone call, try to get their contact information. I can try to get it for you inside.
Awesome.
Get a hold of them. I think that's a great idea.
All right, thank you.
Donnie.
All right, Ms. Campo, can you tell us about the art project?
So that was something that was presented to council in our last meeting. Just basically going to create a little bit of art, a mural in downtown and involve the community and kind of bring a little bit more vibrancy and aesthetically pleasing look to the downtown area.
Yeah, I think it's a great idea. Do you have any idea when this would be started?
I think the goal is to, I'm not exactly sure on the timeline. I don't know. I think we're supposed to be getting some more details, but I think it's for next year.
For next year?
Yeah, I believe so, but I'm not sure about the specifics of the timeline.
Okay, well, thank you for your time, Ms. Campo.
All right, thanks.
Can you tell us about the pandemic operation plan?
Well, I read it, and I guess the city wants to have everything prepared for if something happens again. Who would be essential workers, who would not be.
How will you be determined who's essential?
Well, those are the people that need to be on the job, like fire, police, the people who work at the water plant and the sewer treatment plant. Those are considered essential.
Now, I also read that there's going to be emergency housing for essential employees if they get sick. What about the non-essential employees? They don't get emergency housing?
I don't think I saw that. Is that on there?
Yes, it is. It's on there.
So I'm sure that'll be open for discussion.
Okay, and also real quickly, what do you think about the art project for the Riverwalk?
I think it'd be great.
Yeah, I think it would be a great idea.
I would even volunteered, right?
Yes, I would like to be. Yes, I would like to get involved and do my own painting.
I think that's a great idea, Donnie.
All right, thank you.
Have a good night.
You too. My name is Donnie Lee Berriger. I just want to talk about the pandemic operation report or operation plan. There's a list of description of positions considered essential. So you guys got to come up with essential and non-essential jobs. You know, what determines that? You know, I think we're all pretty much all essential. You know, there's also protocols, you know, for emergency housing for essential employees. So they're saying if you get this disease and you're non-essential, there's not going to be any emergency housing fund for you. You know, the CDC released today that the virus is not airborne. I don't know if you guys seen that article or not, but every time we turn around, there's more misinformation on this disease and this pandemic. You know, Mayor, you asked me outside, why are these masks not considered, you know, waste or medical waste or biohazard? You know, if these masks are supposedly helping us, then why aren't they considered medical waste? And that's a good question that you had. You know, I wish I actually recorded talking to you about that. You know, there's all these questions and policies that every time, each week we come here, there's a new policy, there's a new procedure, there's new guidelines, and they're always changing. All right, so this doesn't make any sense with what's going on from the governor and what the city of Watertown is doing to implement a pandemic operation plan. It's really a waste of city resources. The second thing I would like to talk about is the art project for the Riverwalk. I think that would be a great idea for the city of Watertown to allow people to paint murals down there at the Riverwalk. I would like to be involved in that project myself. I have an idea for a painting. I would ask that the mayor and the council allows me to a spot down there on the Riverwalk. And of course, the same reason why I come here it's been a year now, it's been over a year, is to talk about creation, about the lies that our federal government and our state government are continuing to tell us, but nobody seems to care. You know, this pandemic was a perfect example of a hoax that is being pulled on the public, all right? But it goes way deeper than that, all right? Like I said, Earth is motionless, all right? There's waters above, held up by the firmament, all right? The sun, moon, and stars move. Earth is motionless. That's just it. There's waters above, waters below, and that's what we live in, all right? The stars that we see in the so-called planets are just stars that move a little bit different than the rest of the stars. They might retrograde, they might move up or down, but they don't go exactly around the North Star. And when you take a camera like a Nikon P900, you can zoom in on the stars and see that they are in the waters above, all right? What we get from NASA and these other space agencies is CGI, animation, cartoons. Science must be observable, testable, and repeatable, all right? And what I observe is a motionless Earth. What I observe is the sun moving across our sky. Same thing with the moon, it moves. Now, here's another thing real quickly. The moon creates its own light. It's not reflecting the sun, all right? The moon produces its own light, and this is testable. How is this testable? Moonlight creates a cooler light. When you're in direct moonlight, it's cooler versus if you were in the shade of the moon, which is the direct opposite if you were in direct sunlight. Everybody knows you're in sunlight, it's warmer. You move to the shadow of a shade of a tree, it's much cooler. It's complete opposite, and that alone proves the light difference from the moon. So that's what I'd like to bring up today. Thank you.